19-year-old Austin Hack and 20-year-old Sarah Stone are behind bars after their 10-week-old baby daughter was found dead from malnutrition and dehydration. At around 1:15 p.m. on Monday the 14th of November, the authorities responded to an apartment in the 4000 block of South Cedar Crest Drive in Independence, Missouri, after receiving a call about an unresponsive child. When first responders arrived, they found the infant girl laying motionless on the bedroom floor. She was wearing a cloth diaper and a white onesie. She wasn't breathing, and she was cold to touch. A paramedic declared the child dead. Detectives noted that the child was extremely emaciated, and her ribs and collarbone were protruding through her skin. The medical examiner advised that the child suffered from severe malnutrition and dehydration. The couple told the investigators that the child was born at their home at the end of August, and has never been to a doctor or received any immunisations. The parents said they last saw the child alive at 11:30 a.m. When they went into the child's bedroom later that afternoon, the child was not breathing. Austin used Sarah's phone to look up directions for performing CPR on the infant. Austin said he then performed CPR until first responders arrived and took over. Austin told investigators that he had bathed his daughter times during the week prior and that he didn't feel like there was anything wrong with her. He also said that their child was never sick once. Austin was shown pictures of the child taken during the medical examiner's evaluation. When asked if the child looked normal, he said no. He said he didn't do it, and no one did it. When asked who was responsible for feedings, he first said that Sarah was. He said that the child had only been breastfed and had never been given a bottle. He then admitted that he was also responsible for making sure the child was fed. Furthermore, Austin said they didn't allow anyone to come over to their apartment and help care for the child because everyone makes it worse. He also said they didn't take the child outside of the apartment because the world is a scary place. Sarah told investigators that the child was a happy baby that was never sick or hurt. She said that she believed that she was producing enough milk to properly feed her baby. Sarah also denied noticing any weight loss. While searching the couple's apartment, officers found several items of drug paraphernalia with trace amounts of marijuana. Austin told investigators that he was a daily user of marijuana, and Sarah admitted to using marijuana while she was pregnant. Austin and Sarah each charged with felony abuse and neglect of a child resulting in death. They remain held at the Jackson County Jail. 35-year-old Heidi Metheny is behind bars after allegedly admitting to drowning her 93-year-old grandmother Alice Metheny a day after she was told she'll need to be placed into a nursing home. The incident occurred on the afternoon of Tuesday the 15th of November in an apartment at 325 East Summer Street in Eaton, Ohio. The granddaughter was worried that she could not afford the cost of a nursing home and insurance would not pick up the tab. After the granddaughter and grandmother enjoyed some ice cream, Heidi snuck up behind Alice while she was doing dishes and allegedly shoved her head into the sink, holding her there until the bubbles stopped. She then filled up the bathtub and held her grandmother under for about 15 minutes because she wasn't sure if she was dead. Once Alice stopped breathing, Heidi left her in the bathtub, exited the apartment, and walked to the sheriff's office where she handed herself in. Police asked Heidi what led to the drowning, and she said nothing special. It was a day like any other, she said. It's nothing that she did. She's a perfect freaking grandmother, she said. According to the confession, she was tired of taking care of her grandmother, the authorities said. Police arrived on scene and found Alice deceased in the bathtub, and her body was transported to the Montgomery County Coroner's Office for an autopsy. Heidi was arrested and booked into the Preble County Jail on a preliminary charge of murder. Formal charges are pending from the Preble County Prosecutor's Office. The police are not looking for any other suspects in connection to the death investigation. 46-year-old Michael Belcher is behind bars in connection to the fatal shooting of 32-year-old Eric Evans earlier this month. At just before 3 p.m. on Wednesday the 9th of November, the authorities responded to a report of shots fired at a residence in the 600 block of Locust Avenue in North Toledo, Ohio. When officers arrived at the property, they found Eric laying unresponsive in a hallway of an apartment with 3 gunshot wounds to his head. He was pronounced dead at the scene, and his death was ruled a homicide. During the investigation, the authorities identified Michael as a suspect. He was arrested on the 15th of November, and he's charged with murder. He remains held at the Lucas County Detention Correction Center, and is held on a $1 million bond. Police have not released a possible motive, cause for the shooting, or whether the pair knew each other. The investigation into the matter continues. 30-year-old Karen Michelle Moroney is behind bars after she allegedly threatened to murder her ex-husband with a butcher knife. At around 2 p.m. on Monday the 14th of November, the authorities were called to 20th Street in Marathon, Florida, on reports of domestic disturbance. Witnesses said that Karen placed a knife near the 33-year-old male victim's throat and stated that she'll kill him if he touched her dogs. Investigators say that 2 cleaver-style knives were found in Karen's vehicle. Karen was arrested and charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and is held at the Monroe County Jail on a $25,000 bond. 48-year-old Heath Heck broke into his 41-year-old ex-wife Melissa Wright's home and fatally shot her before ending his own life in a murder-suicide. The incident occurred in the early morning hours of Tuesday the 15th of November at 309 South Sycamore Avenue in Marshfield, Wisconsin. At just before 11 a.m, the authorities responded to their residence after a co-worker of Melissa contacted police to request a welfare check after she hadn't shown up for work that morning. When officers arrived at the property, they found a truck registered to Heath parked in the driveway. The front door to the home had been damaged and had been broken into. When they entered the home, they found the dead bodies of Heath and Melissa in the bedroom. The authorities said that Heath fatally shot Melissa before turning the gun on himself. A .44 caliber handgun was recovered at the scene. Heath and Melissa had divorced in August of 2020. They had 2 children together, who were elsewhere at the time of the shooting, and are currently staying with grandparents. On the 15th of November 2022, 45-year-old Heather Reynolds was sentenced to life in prison without parole for suffocating her 17-month-old son Axel Reynolds to death. She was earlier found guilty of murder, possession of meth, and endangering the welfare of a child. The incident occurred on the morning of the 10th of May 2018, when the authorities responded to a home on Marshall Court in Camden, New Jersey, on a report of an unresponsive child. When first responders arrived, they found the child on the lawn and not breathing, and he was pronounced dead at the scene. The medics noticed that the child had bruising on his face, and he smelt like alcohol. The investigators determined that Heather used a cleaning wipe containing alcohol and detergent and placed it over her son's face and suffocated him until he died. Prosecutors argued that Heather wanted to kill her son because she was having an affair while her husband was out of state, and her son was getting in her way.